And then I heard that. I kept hearing that. Here comes the fire department.
And I'm sure that was all being done by mostly peaceful protesters. What's going on, America? Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Before we get into this video, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, share my videos. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notification buttons are turned on to all. Subscribe to my alternative channel, just in case YouTube give me the slip or something. You'll know how to find me. Don't forget to check me out with all the podcasts and follow me on Rumble in the Jungle. All the links are listed below. If you want to donate to my channel, feel free. Those links are below as well. Now, with no further ado,
welcome to my party, we're just getting started.
What's going on, America? Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And you can't make sense out of this, that all of this violence is taking place towards Teslas, and you can't find a Democrat anywhere that's coming out and straight up condemning this and telling all the radical supporters to calm down and chill. Stop doing this. They will come out and talk about how Elon Musk needs to be punished and the stock needs to drop. But what do you think people who are maybe not as stable and people who don't understand that these narratives are self-serving coming from the Democrats and the media concerning the danger of Elon Musk? What do you think is going to happen to them when they are continually being bombarded with narratives of he's a Nazi, Elon Musk is trying to take over the whole government, this is an oligarchy, this is all of those things? What do you think that these people are going to resort to if they're hearing you say things that might make an unstable person say, this is an emergency, I got to do something drastic to stop Elon Musk? But yet, at the same time, they will tell you that it is conservatives that are responsible for all kind of rhetoric and violence and stuff like that. And yet, we are here once again, seeing that the radical left is willing to do whatever they got to do to get their way because their people don't think before they go ahead and protest. And so we have a situation now where somebody need to go to jail. In fact, a couple people are going to jail. But this latest tactic right here, it really solidifies the fact that this is domestic terrorists. So let's get into it.
I was thankfully by myself.
Lee was on the way to a doctor's appointment in Linwood Wednesday morning when she says all of a sudden a driver behind her just laid on the horn as they came up to a red light. Things spiraled out of control when a white SUV followed her and cut her off, stopping in the middle of the road.
Gets out and walks straight up to my window. So I cracked my window and I said, what is the problem? And he goes, you need to sell your car. This is a Nazi car. You're driving it. You need to sell your car.
Now, what do you think about that? You see that? That guy jumped out the car looking like a mass murderer. Guy's face is covered up. I mean, do you understand how mentally compromised you have to be to think that, you know what, I have the right to pull some lady over, jump out of my car in the middle of traffic? Who knows? Somebody could have, hit her in the back or whatever. Walk up to her as a complete threat and not expect to get ran over with the double tap, foop, foop, or shot. That guy walked up like he was about to really seriously threaten this woman's life, only to yell at her and tell her, you need to sell your car, blah, blah, blah. Now, you got to understand, these are all Democrat supporters and Democrat voters. And you see the way they've been protesting throughout years. But yet every time we see these things happen, the media downplays it. The media tries to justify it, or they hit you with the whataboutism, January 6th, the only thing that they can reference to try to, make a comparison from conservatives versus the way that the radical left protests. And a lot of these people on the radical left aren't wrapped too tight, or they wouldn't be voting for Democrats. So this dude gets out, big fat black mask on. Anytime you see these folks running around with masks on, you gotta question some things. That's their style when it comes down to the way that they protest, because they know their protest goes over the line. And the Democrats don't know how to reel them back in. And in fact, I don't think they want to. I think they want them to go ahead and do whatever is necessary to instill fear into people that are out here minding their own business like that lady. And so the goal, I guess, is to allow these people to continue doing these things until either somebody seriously gets hurt, killed, or all of these people, like they should, get locked up for a very long time. And I hope they find out who is financing all of this. But guys, no, just because that cat was crazy like that, it gets worse. Now you see those three characters right there? All liberals that the Democrats have encouraged and mind controlled them to think that Elon Musk is such a threat that I'm going to risk my whole future and I'm going to set things on fire. I'm going to shoot up stuff. I'm going to use Molotov cocktails and all of that mess. And now all of those three people are looking at somewhere between 5 to 25 years in prison, which I hope they get the book thrown at them because they're unstable. I mean, anytime you see the blue hair, you see these guys right here with the long hair, the man buns and all of that stuff. You know what type of people are out there doing this. It ain't conservatives. So these people who are mentally vulnerable to these types of suggestions, these types of fake narratives about how dangerous Elon Musk is, the Democrats could care less about these people. They will allow these people to be straight up useful idiots and don't care whether it lands them in prison, lands them in jail, because when you're telling people that this man is public enemy number one, like they did with Trump, people like this, they feel obligated and they feel emboldened to go out and do stupid stuff that land them right in prison. And I wonder if Jasmine Ratchet and all of them, and of course Tampon Tim, is going to be running to their rescue to bail them out. And yet none of them are coming out to a mic and say, hey, all of this stuff has to stop. Instead, they're putting up websites like this. Now tell me this website right here is not designed to perform and act as a mechanism for domestic terrorism.
Elon Musk's ties to the Trump administration have led to an apparent act of intimidation online as Tesla owners now face an ultimatum: sell your car or find yourself on a blacklist. A website called Doge Quest posted the alleged personal information of Tesla owners across the United States with an interactive map, including an image of a Molotov cocktail as the cursor. Doge Quest claims to, quote, empower creative expressions of protest through exposing the names, addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses of Tesla owners.
Creative ways of protesting by exposing the phone numbers, the addresses, all those things of Tesla owners. Is that really designed to formulate a creative way of protesting? Hint, hint, knowing where these people are, sending all your folks that aren't mentally stable and wrapped too tight to go out there and actually track these people down. This right here is not your normal doxing. These folks right here are saying these people are being doxed and outed until they, of course, obey our demands. That to me sounds like domestic terrorism. We're going to use this threat of fear. I mean, knowing that you might be on a list, who knows? You coming out your crib in the morning, looking around like, I hope nobody out in the bush is hiding, because all these people who aren't wrapped too tight are listening to the Democrat Party, and whoever put this website together might take matters into their own hands because they're not wrapped too tight. Might be busting out of the bushes on me when I either come home or I'm leaving. Who knows? So whoever put this together is very dangerous. And then what they're trying to do is absolve themselves of any domestic terrorism because they're saying, hey, look, we're not telling these people what to do. This is just a way to have some creative ways to protest. Hint, hint, hint. So let's see how creative it gets.
Saying it will only remove the data if they can provide proof they've sold their Teslas.
Now, who in the heck do these people think they are? Basically, we're going to put you on this hit list right here until you do what we say. Sell your Tesla, and then we'll remove your name and your information off our hit list. Now, why is this site still up? I know in a second you're going to hear that they did take it down, but it's right back up. This right here is a site designed to operate as a form of domestic terrorism. Anytime you say we're going to threaten you, harass you, possibly hurt you, and it is revolving around a political agenda, that right there is domestic terrorism. I need Pam Bondi. I need my boy Cash Patel, somebody, Dan Bon. Somebody needs to find out who put this website together, who put it up, and stick it to them, okay? But it gets worse.
The map also includes Tesla dealership addresses, locations of Tesla superchargers, and the personal information of employees from Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. 404 Media was the first to report on Doge Quest, verifying at least some of the information posted is legitimate. One person listed in the site's data contacted 404 Media, confirming that they are a Tesla owner.
So now what happens when one of these crazies show up either to attack someone from Doge or show up to somebody's job, show up to a Tesla dealership, show up to find one of these people who are on the list, which probably many of them are liberals, but they don't care about that because Democrat protesters aren't wrapped too tight. And they know that. And they send them out there to do radical things, but yet won't come out there and say, don't go that far. They want these people to go that far. And yet they're sweeping down Donald Trump's the one encouraging violence. And he said this and he said that. But yet they will unleash these people out there with all this information. And they just go, hey, if they go out there and do something crazy, that's on them. When you know they're not too stable. That's like me manipulating a whole bunch of kids. And I'm saying, you know what? When so-and-so come in the room, I mean, hey, look, if I were y'all, I would show him how y'all feel about him because he didn't let y'all play with his ball yesterday. I mean, it's up to y'all how y'all want to handle it. But I'm going down there to the teacher's lounge to have a smoke. And when he comes in, you know, whatever happens, happen. And then I come back and they done beat the little kid up, took his ball. I'm going, hey, look, they went a little too far. I don't know how that happened. Well, because I brainwashed them. I realized they were mentally vulnerable and emotionally vulnerable. And me suggesting these things, they're not able to say, well, how far should we go? I mean, you know, is it one of those things we should just stop with having signs and stuff? But if you're telling me this man is a danger to our democracy and he's a Nazi and stuff like that, then there's no limit. There's no limit. And they know that. And yet they're still putting stuff out like this,
saying they're worried about potential threats to their family. Social media users reported the site seemed to have been taken down at one point Tuesday after getting errors when trying to load it. However, as of Wednesday morning, it's back up. The doxing effort comes as Tesla car owners, dealerships, and charging stations have been targeted nationwide by protesters and vandals because of Musk's involvement with Doge and its effort to cut wasteful spending and fraud within the federal government.
You see what I'm talking about? Now, how is this site back up? And why isn't somebody saying, who put the site up? You realize that these leftists, they do stuff because there is some type of organization supporting them and backing them. You don't come up with all of this information and this data all on your own. Somebody is promoting, supporting, financing, doing whatever it is to organize this and put it up. And they probably got lawyers that help write it out and say, this is how far you can go. This is what you need to say. So therefore, you can absolve yourself of any liability if one of these crazies go too far. My question is track it. Find out who's doing this and stick it to them.
Attorney General Pam Bondi said last week those taking part in the vandalism of Tesla cars, charging stations, and dealerships could face up to 20 years in prison.
So if you're going to touch a Tesla, go to a dealership, do anything, you better watch out because we're coming after you.
Musk posted to X Tuesday after finding out about Doge Quest, calling it extreme domestic terrorism. While doxing itself is not explicitly illegal under U.S. federal law, it can violate existing statutes related to harassment, stalking, threats, and invasion of privacy.
So you see what's going on here. People just burning down, charging stations and burning up Teslas and shooting up the windows. That's not enough. Okay. What we want to do now is put together a nice package of all the Tesla owners for you with all the information, their addresses and stuff, and the Doge folks. We want to make it nice and convenient and easy for all you crazies to take it to the next level. See, so all of this crap that's going on, you would think they would pull back. All of the violence that's taking place, the burning and all that stuff, you would think they said, whoa, we don't need to go too far. I mean, let's just get these folks to not buy Teslas, or maybe just march around with signs or something. But we see that we have an element to our protesters that don't have a governor. They can't regulate and they're willing to go too far. So you know how we help them out? By giving them a list of all the people who we want to intimidate or scare into submission. That's how we're going to go ahead and handle our crazies. Now, they'll be the first to tell you that my life's in danger. The Republicans, they question something that I said or did, or they disagreed with something, or they exposed something, and that puts my life in danger. Democrats are quick to yell about my life is in danger whenever you criticize them or expose them or whatever. But yet, nobody's coming out and saying, y'all might be putting all these people's lives in danger with this little domestic terrorist website. But yet, nobody's coming out to condemn it. No Democrats are coming out saying, look, that goes too far. And let us bring this up. And what do? Well, what about January 6th? What about January? And they don't even want to do that with me because you know how I feel about January 6th. And not to mention, Okay, their domestic terrorism goes back all the way to George Floyd and beyond. So we could come up with all kind of incidents where they were doing stuff like this, but this is ridiculous. And to top it off, here's a former milk dud head dude that went on fake news CNN and said something real stupid, and I hope his butt get sued for it. If you want to know why these crazy people feel like we got to do this stuff, this guy's a danger, just listen to fools like this.
It's not true, and this shows again the American people do not trust Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is incompetent in his position. And how do we know? Because they fired tens of thousands of people, was challenged in court. The court said the people have to go back, and now the people are coming back. He's incompetent. He's a thief. He's a Nazi.
I am Adolf Hitler, command of the Third Reich. Little known fact, also dope on the mic.
And people don't trust him.
So you hear that? Yeah, former congressman who, of course, was beat because he was primaried and was censored because he pulled the fire alarm and lied about it. That guy right there with that big fat milk dud head had the nerve to come out and talk about how he's incompetent. It's crazy how they criticize Elon Musk as if these people have ever created anything. They're brilliant and they know how everything works. I mean, these are some of the dumbest people in Congress. How did this guy, AOC and all of the rest of them who have got into Congress somehow, and then they get on TV talking about Elon Musk is dumb. He's a dumb millionaire. He don't know how to do it. And I'm going, that guy is extremely competent. He just had a rocket rescue some people from space, and you're talking about he don't know what he's doing. He's incompetent. He bought Twitter, turned it into X. Y'all swarping down, it was go under, and he made it profitable. And y'all, he's incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. While this guy doesn't have a job right now, so he has to prostitute himself by getting out there on CNN and lying. And he says he's stealing. So now my question to you, at what point do these people be held accountable for slander? Because Elon Musk ain't stealing nothing. But this guy gets on CNN with nobody checking him and says he's stealing. So what is he stealing? Come with the proof. Don't throw that out there, because guess what? If I'm not wrapped too tight and I'm thinking, yeah, man, Elon Musk is all up in my 401k. He all up in my Social Security, man. My Medicare, he's stealing it. He's stealing my stuff. I went back into my bank account and I saw that 1 penny was missing, and I'm sure Elon took it. I'm sure he did. The richest man in the world is doing all of this because he's stealing from the people. He's not rich enough. He wants all the money from those old people that got canes and stuff and just want their Social Security and stuff like that. He's stealing. Throw it out there. It's not true. It's a lie. He should be held accountable for that lie. But the bigger one is he's a Nazi. Now, your intelligence level have to be horrible. Milk dud head right there, along with many other people, sling these things out there. And I'm saying to myself, what does a modern day Nazi look like? I mean, is he out there practicing Nazi behavior like the real Nazis did? What's their whole goal and agenda? What made Elon Musk decide all of these years to go by, and then at the last second he says it's time for me to go ahead and expose my Nazism? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So what's your goal and agenda as a Nazi? Where do you meet? Who are the people that you hook up with and all of this stuff? What's now the new, the list of Nazi characteristics and goals and stuff and objectives? Where is all of that? So you sling that stuff out there, and you know when you bring out the worst type of accusation and label on somebody, and people aren't able to see these people are liars and manipulators, and they want to get you on their side by saying the worst things and labeling these people as the worst kind of people in history, knowing that you can't process that. You're not able to say, well, that's a little too far. And this guy just straight up called this guy a Nazi. And all of these people's mind, many of them, they're going, a Nazi? Well, what the heck? Never stopping to say, come on, man, a Nazi. And then they'll go out there and they'll act accordingly. And so this is reckless and dangerous accusations right here. This is not an issue of freedom of speech. This is an issue of slander. That guy right there needs to be sued for defamation, because all it takes is one crazy, not wrapped too tight Democrat supporter to say a Nazi, well, I'm gonna save America by doing something horrible to this Nazi. Or crazy folks like that guy that jumped out of that car, rolled up to that lady talking about something. You got to sell your car. These are Nazis. This is a Nazi car and this and this and that. Well, what if she say, get out my face? Huh? How you like that? You're acting like the Nazi. Then what? Does he go ahead and break her window? Does he drag her out the car? And will any of these Democrats and people on the news who are spreading these types of narratives about Elon Musk be accountable or take any type of responsibility when all of these crazy wackos out there go too far and somebody really get hurt? Will they ever come out and say, maybe we might have pushed the whole Nazi narrative and whole oligarch and Elon Musk is stealing the money a little too far? Nope. That's not their style. They will act like, I don't say, look, man, people will do what they do. And that is why something needs to happen, Johnny on the spot, to shut this mess down. An example needs to be made out of these people and find out who's responsible for putting this website together thing on it. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Democrats, man. Anyway, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Hey, don't forget, every weekday, Monday through Friday, I do a live stream at 7 p.m. So check out my live stream. Hit the like button, share my videos. Follow me on all the other platforms. Check out Kevin's Corner store. Get some merch. Or you can support the channel through my Cash App and PayPal. Other than that, see you next time. God bless.